I'm back. How y'all doing this evening? I just did a show 45 minutes ago, but I'm back. It's the Don here on another episode of the Don's Favor on Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. I got a guest here with me, Jansen Harris from Just Good News. Is it Just Good Network?
Just Good Network. Appreciate you having me on, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hey, everybody, I already know what to do. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. All right. So, tell me about the news just broke like a couple of hours ago about Matt Ryan's not getting traded. Matt Ryan and Julio not getting traded.
My thoughts on that? I mean, because of contract situations, I get it. And I think if Julio stays healthy, he's still productive. He's still the number one guy. He's still that guy. Still top 3 receiver, maybe the best in the league, potentially. I don't know, a lot of young guys coming up. So the Matt Ryan one, there's no surprise to that. It's hard to move his contract. I know people in Atlanta, they don't want to hear it, but a lot of people don't want to take on that contract. A lot of people, they wouldn't want to take the penalties that come with it. Plus, it's a hard deal to move. Matt Ryan still has juice. I believe he still has a little something in the tank. But as far as leading the Falcons to the Super Bowl, back to the Super Bowl, I don't know. I think he's in the back end of his career, obviously. And it is what it is. That doesn't mean they're not taking a quarterback at number 4. If they don't, I'll tell you what, they better make the playoffs this year. They better make the playoffs next year. And I'll say this about Arthur Smith. He said all the right things, accountability, and I get that. I love the press conference. But let me tell you something about accountability. If you go, I think it's a 17-game season next year. If you go 9-8 or 8-9, and then the following year you win 6 games, you're probably going to get fired, okay? And Terry Fontenot, when I look at him, this is a big draft. This year and next year is a big draft. You need to put yourself in position to win now, or if you're going to take that young quarterback, you build around him, okay? Can Matt Ryan play? Is he a quality starter? Absolutely. But am I going to sit here and act like he's God's gift to earth, like he's a top 5 quarterback, this or this? No, I just break the games down. I'm not a fanboy. And let me talk to these other guys out here. Not really you. I do respect you for having me on. You say your opinions. You make videos. I respect a man acting like a man. A lot of these other podcasters out here, they don't really want the smoke. I'm going to just be honest. I'm not a fanboy. These other guys, fanboys. They grew up Atlanta fans since they were 5, since they were 10. I just talk sports. I'm a Jets fan, but I don't sit here and tell people Sam Darnold's the greatest thing on earth, because he's not.
Hold on, you a Jets fan?
Yeah, I'm a Jets fan.
Oh my goodness!
I'm a commentator. You feel me? I'm in Atlanta now, but I commentate. I'm not a fanboy. If the Falcons do well, if AJ Terrell, he had a fantastic year, I'll say it. Foye Oluokun, fantastic year, I'll say it. Grady Jarrett played well. I give guys credit where it's due. The weeks Matt Ryan played well, I gave you credit for it. When you played bad, I hold you accountable. It's that simple. You feel me? But at the end of the day, Matt Ryan's back. If you're a Matt Ryan fan, if you're a guy who believes Matt Ryan is better than what I'm saying and what the national media says, this is a great day. I thought it would have been a hard deal to move anyways. You feel me?
But here's the thing, though. They just moved, not they, but the Detroit Lions just moved Matt Stafford, right?
Yes.
And they taking on now Jared Goff. But yes, on the flip side, they got some picks for that trade. I get it. But Matt Ryan, man, look, here's the thing. The team said that they did not put those guys on the trading block at all. So these guys, Matt Ryan and Julio, they never was in talks to get rid of these guys. The Falcons do not want to move on for Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Meaning that they said it in the conference. They said it in the news break. They said that they were never to be traded. They said 2 reasons. Yeah, they brought up the contracts, but also they said that we need to see what they have, what we can do with Arthur Smith as the head coach. He will be calling the plays, and they said it's very similar to the system that they had under Kyle Shanahan when Matt Ryan won MVP. What's good, Charleston Nash? He said, what do you see the Falcons adding to a strength? The Chiefs built on their speed. What do you build one in Atlanta? I'm gonna get to that in a second, Charleston. But as I was saying, Matt Ryan, he's a top 5 quarterback. Debatable. But top 10, that's not debatable. He is that guy. All right. You get this man a coaching staff that can be creative with the play calling, and you give him a run game, he can be MVP again. Look at Aaron Rodgers. All right.
They're not the same.
Hold on. Huh?
They're not the same player, bro.
No. Remember before LaFleur got there, right? Those 2 seasons, where Aaron Rodgers was doing with Mike McCarthy.
It wasn't some of his best years, but he had a resume before that.
He didn't have you just say that wasn't his best years because of the play calling. He got a better play calling, right? And they gave this man a run game. Because remember, 2016, 17, 18, he didn't have a run game. We can all agree to that. And he didn't have a defense up there in Green Bay, for real. But they gave Aaron Rodgers what he needed, 2019 NFC Championship game. This past year, NFC Championship game. And he was pretty much a shoo-in to be MVP again. He may still win it. We don't know. But why can't we have the same energy for Matt Ryan? Like, he can have the same. I'm not saying we can make the playoffs and make the NFC Championship game Super Bowl with Arthur Smith as a first-year coach, because it's hard for a first-year coach to even get to an NFC Championship game. It's hard. So what I'm trying to tell people is, like, you see all these other quarterbacks that are successful. Why are they successful? Why they have continuity? Why Drew Brees has been the guy for years? He had Sean Payton. All this time. Why Tom Brady is the GOAT? Because he has been having the same play caller for years. Matt Ryan, every 2-3 years, what happens? He got to go through a whole new offensive coordinator. Every single time. It's hard when you have somebody else coming in. All right? It's just like you getting in a relationship and your girl break up with you and find somebody else new. All right? You gonna go to another girl, or you gonna marry her off the jump? No. Y'all got to go through growing pains to see if you the right fit for me or not. Or do you think something better out there, better than me? That's just how it is. All right. But Charles, to ask your question, the strength right now, added to the strength, we have offense. We just need to build upon that by getting a running back. We need a powerful running back. I like Javonte Williams out of North Carolina. I think if he's there in the second round when we need to pick him up, because I feel like he can fit that Arthur Smith system. But we really need to be focused on defense. Defense was horrible for the past, I don't know how long. Travis, he said Matt Ryan has been better than Rodgers since 2016.
That's cap.
Ryan Michael on Twitter. That's true. The stats are there. That's true. That's not a lie. Ryan Michael give you everything.
Let me get back to that point with the coaching and stuff like that. First of all, yes, it is hard when you change offensive coordinators. I believe that. But see, here comes the excuse making. When you're changing coaches a lot, there's reasons for that. Okay, let's talk about Dirk Cutter. Atlanta, they love throwing Dirk Cutter under the bus. They didn't bring Dirk Cutter back for their health. They brought him back for Matt Ryan, the success they had early in his career. You really think the coaching staff?
Who's they?
Dimitrov
and they fired, right? And they all got fired, right?
Yeah, they got fired. But that move obviously is to cater to your quarterback. In this league, it's catered to the quarterback. They don't pay these offensive coordinators and head coaches $30 million. You know why? Because it's a quarterback league. Your quarterback can get you fired. You show me your quarterback, I'll show you your draft pick for the most part. Show me your quarterback, I'll show you your draft pick. Tom Brady, let's talk about Tom Brady. This proves to you he went from New England, Bill Belichick, which I do think he is the best coach, right? He takes Bruce Arians, who—
Bruce Arians is a good coach.
Hold on. Good.
He's a great coach.
Not great coach.
He won 2 Super Bowls. Come on, man.
No, not as the head coach. Not as the head coach.
But he won 2 Super Bowls.
No, but you guys are giving coordinators credit more than the head coaches. He wasn't the main guy. Play calling matters. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, he was a play caller for Pittsburgh.
But leadership as the head guy is different pressure. It's okay to be a fancy play caller like Matt LaFleur, right? He's been doing a fantastic job. Matt LaFleur wasn't just brought in for his play calling. He was brought in because he knew his place. You cater to Aaron Rodgers. The team isn't also successful because of you. You have a Hall of Fame quarterback. You know why? You blew the game at the end of the day. Kicking the field goal, you feel me? At the end of the day, play calling matters. But and especially these guys in Atlanta, there's too many of them with this. If we have the right scheme and this, and this, you need a leader.
But here's the thing, though.
Hold on.
Here's the thing, though.
Be a leader.
See, this is the problem with some Falcons fans.
Leader.
Y'all don't never have the same energy for Matt Ryan. So we blame the coach, which we should.
Oh, I blame Ryan. I blame Rodgers too. I made a video. I'm holding Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur accountable. Aaron Rodgers blew that game too. He should have ran it in the end zone. He blew that game. And I had Green Bay fans saying the same thing Atlanta guys say. Oh, well, LaFleur. It's not all LaFleur. Both of them. They blew the game. Not the defense. They got 3 picks. We pay Aaron Rodgers all that money. Win the game.
But here's the thing, though. You said Tom Brady went from New England to Tampa Bay. All right. Do you realize, and everybody else, do y'all realize before Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay last year in 2019, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the top 5 defense in the league.
But they didn't make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs.
Of course, they didn't.
Because bad coaching.
Hold on. It ain't bad coaching. Yes, they didn't have the right weapons on offense. Their offense was horrible, but the defense was good. So what did they do? They balanced it out. They brought Tom Brady in. Tom Brady, everywhere Tom Brady is big, he had the top defense. You think he won them Super Bowls in New England because that's great? Like he made.
Tom Brady is that great.
I get it.
He is that great.
Listen, he's going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. I get that. But at the same time, it takes a team to win Super Bowl.
Absolutely, but it takes a great quarterback a lot of the times, and Tom Brady's a great quarterback. Don't sit here and act like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Matt Ryan right up there.
I'm not saying that. But what I'm trying to tell you is you need a team. You need a team around you.
Tom Brady should not be mentioned with Matt Ryan. Have you lost your mind?
Hold on. When has Matt Ryan had a top defense? Please.
He hasn't.
Okay. So
if Tom Brady comes to Atlanta, they're making the playoffs. That's how good he is. They're making the playoffs.
We don't have a wet defense.
Hold on. Here's the excuse. When the defense shows up in some of these games, at the Chiefs game, where's the offense? Oh, it's Cutter.
We don't have a defense.
Matt Ryan's going to be the starter, right? If y'all get y'all dream, Matt Ryan's going to be the starter. They're going to bring a running back. They're going to bring in probably another edge rusher if they trade back. And I don't want to hear the excuses because Arthur Smith, I'll tell you what, if Arthur Smith rides with Matt Ryan the next 2 years and they don't make the playoffs, you're going to be packing your bags. Because Terry Fontenot knows how this game works. If you're going to get fired, you better get fired with your guy.
Let me tell you something. You can't just sit up here and say if Tom Brady come in here, we're going to the playoffs.
Yes,
we got one of the worst
defenses.
Listen, it takes a team to win games.
Oh, yes, bring him in here. He's been ducking and dodging. Bring him in here. Mr. Ducking and dodging, sneak dissing and stuff. Bring him in here.
Hold on.
Mad Mike Sports. Bring Mr.
I'm going to bring him in a minute. I'm going to let me say what I got to say first.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like I said, it takes a team to win championships. It takes a team to win games. Listen, it's good for Matt Ryan and his offense to score 30 and 40 points a game. But if your defense giving up the same points or more, do you really think you're going to win anything?
Why did they
answer my question. If you average,
they didn't give that many points to the Chiefs game.
That's one game. If we can listen, let me tell you
there was a couple games where the Falcons defense, they were kind of bend but don't break. Yes, they allowed a lot of yards, but the offense
allowed 36 points per game this past season. 26 points per game. 26. You're not finna win nothing giving up that many points. That's too many points you giving up. That's too many points. And then we gave up. I don't even want to get to how many yards we gave up.
Here's my thing. Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. Is he a great quarterback? Absolutely not. But I'm going to say this. You got Arthur Smith coming in. His job is to turn things around, right? And hopefully he does that. Because at the end of the day, Matt Ryan is probably going to be the starter next year, right?
So
they just working to trade them.
So do you really still think that Ryan Tannehill is better than Matt Ryan?
I never directly said that. I said there's a debate. He's a debatable top 10 quarterback. That's what I'm saying.
So
now,
Matt Ryan. Hold on.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point.
It's debatable. Oh, wow. It's debatable. No, it's debatable. Where in the fucking hell has Ryan Tannehill ever been debatable top 10 in anything?
What are you going to let me finish
my point? Give me the stats.
Mike,
hell no. Hell no. Okay. Hold on, Don. Let me address something first before we even get to that.
Go ahead.
All right. One, what I do at Mad Mike Sports, GSHM, Atlanta Falcons Nation, what we do, we uplift our guys. We uplift future content creators. We don't get into, back and forth arguments on social media.
That's not true. That's what you were taking direct shots at me. That's not true.
That's
not true. I can pull records up. That's not true. But I also said many times, sir, I respect what you guys got going on. I have a different opinion.
Let me address this like a real.
But that's not true. You blocked me when I had different opinions than you. That's the truth. You blocked me, then unblocked me when I had the video viral. So that's not true at all. You feel me? Don't start off lying.
Let's address this like men.
But that's cap. That's cap. Don't do that.
Let's address this like men, okay?
We are now we're addressing it like men. That's cap. That's a lie. I've never taken personal shots at you. I've debated with you. You cowered it out. You took personal shots.
I wasn't. You just didn't. You just didn't take shots at me before I came on the show.
I took
shots.
You
do that. You didn't call me a clown. You didn't call me a clown on Twitter for having a separate opinion for you. You didn't call me that.
That's not true. That's not why. True. You blocked me. You were very.
Did you do it or not?
You were very indirect.
All right, this is a sport.
Talk ball or not? Let's talk ball.
All right, let's talk ball.
I was in the middle of talking. He's interrupting me. You feel me? You was interrupting me. Am I wrong?
Let's do this back and look.
No, because I gotta say this. I gotta say this. What we want to do is what we won't try to do, and what was my point initially is that you're not gonna try to call me out on social media and then hit my publicist up to try to get you hit my publicist up.
I said it right to your face.
You hit my publicist up to try to get a show with me, and now you come on Don's show to try to sit up here and say that I'm ducking you. You hit my publicist up, okay, to try to get on my show, and now I'm a clown.
Hold on 1 second. And I told, first of all, can I talk before you start talking over me? I said this. I like a lot of the work you guys do. I've said it to you before on Twitter. Hey, I respect what you're doing. I have a different opinion. You called me a beta. You called me this. You blocked me. I never blocked you because of a different opinion.
Because we don't.
Right or wrong? Did you or did you not?
I got bigger things to do than worry about you.
I have bigger things to do. There you go, ducking and dodging again.
Absolutely. I got bigger things to do.
You got some good people who, and Wonderful came on my show. He did a fantastic job. Who I was cool working with. And I told her too, I don't have any issues with you. My issue is this, that you're dissing me, you're blocking me, you're showing feminine tendencies. And now you're laughing like a little kid.
Mr. Liar, pants on fire. Literally trying to use Mr. Liar, pants on fire.
Hey, time out.
I'm sorry for doing that.
Charleston Nash got a question. He said, do you think that coaching can fix our O-line instead of having a high school coach? Arthur Smith bringing chemistry with the O-line. Great show. Appreciate you, Charleston, man. We know Arthur Smith is a O-line coach by trade, and what he's done with that Tennessee line, he's been there for almost a decade. I have high hopes that this line is going to do well. This is why I said if we picking fourth and Penny Sewell is still on the board, we need to get him. We need to get him in the worst way. This guy is legit. That's all I'm gonna say on that. What's good, ATM man? What's good, everybody in the chat, y'all? Appreciate you. Yeah, Miss Maggie said y'all need to calm down. So yeah, you're right about that.
We're cool. I'm absolutely cool. But like I said, what we want to do, especially when you come on my affiliate show, like you're on our affiliate show, okay, and then try to call me out, and then
spade a spade.
No, let me finish. Let me finish.
I'm calling it out. It's that simple. I have no problems with Don. You know, me and Don had disagreements.
Don can I finish what I got to say?
Let me talk, and then let me go ahead and talk. Go ahead and talk.
Let me finish this. Let me say this. What you don't want to do is continue to clout chase and try to use me. You call me a clown on one end, and then you.
How am I clout
chasing? Because
I have a different opinion.
Can I finish?
Thank you, Speed Falcons for life. You see what's up. I don't sneak this nobody. It's good morning,
Bro,
good afternoon.
Can I finish? Let me finish.
I got out your hero, Matt Ryan. You have a problem with that.
All right, let's talk. Look. Here's the thing. Y'all had beef on Twitter. All right, look, I got beef on Twitter with Cam Marino. He's ducking the Dodgers.
Bro, this ain't got nothing to do with Twitter.
You know what, Don? You're right. I'm sorry, Don. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for messing your show up with this. You know, we had a good discussion, and I don't even have a real problem with Mad Mike Sports. You're just coming here.
Of course you do.
You're not telling the truth.
Hey, y'all, listen.
Of course you do. You're looking for clout, dog.
Hey.
You're looking for clout, dog. Of course you are.
Listen.
Why would I be looking for clout from you? I'm a better broadcaster than you. We all know that. You can't.
Go there if you want. If you believe that, then you believe that.
You're close-minded. Atlanta's all you know. It's okay.
Hey, listen.
I'm way better broadcaster than you. You know that.
Hey, chill.
Hey, man. A great once told me, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Okay.
Hey, y'all, listen. Hold on, y'all. Listen. I'm losing viewership over this. All right, y'all got to chill out. For real. I'm losing.
Men lie, women lie. And this numbers don't, and that's all I got to say about that, dog.
This is a live show, and I'm losing viewership. Y'all need to get it together, or I'm ending the live. All right, we're gonna talk. Look, let's talk sports. Look, y'all had y'all differences of opinions. We here to debate the Matt Ryan. Let's debate Matt Ryan. All right, let's
There's no debate. He's the Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. What is there to debate? He's an MVP quarterback. What is there to debate? He has a resume. He's broken almost every record outside of touchdown, passing yards. He's number one, especially with the years he's been playing. He just passed Peyton Manning. He just paid Peyton Manning for the yards. He just passed Peyton Manning for yards and completion yards together. He's number one there. He has an MVP. Not even the great Drew Brees has that. Okay, so I mean I can keep going on and on. So as far as like Matt Ryan not being,
good quarterbacks don't break records like that. Great quarterbacks do that.
Average quarterbacks don't do that. So like I said, I could keep going on and on. And like I said, man, this has nothing to do with whether or not I like, but I will not be disrespected in a way that I've been disrespected. He came on before I was even on the show. You know, it was all about disrespect before I even stepped on it, and that's what we're going to keep it at. We're going to keep it like that, and that's it. Like I said, I got fans in Mad Mike Sports where they know what we do. I don't have to really critique and say this about myself and Don. And what we do at GSHM Atlanta Falcons Nation, we're here to do nothing but unite the fan base in a positive way. All right, that's what we're here about. This is what I'm about. That's what I'm always going to be about. All right. So I don't like if you feel as though that you are a better broadcaster. Look, bro, that's fine. It's not for us to debate whether or not who is the great. It's not for us.
It's all on viewership.
It's all up to the people. It's all up to the people. The people have chosen Mad Mike. I didn't choose me. They like my content. So if you feel as though that you are the greatest, brother.
I never.
I
said
praise you for having confidence in
I
yourself.
never said that.
I
Mike.
praise you for having confidence in yourself.
All
I
right,
believe in confidence.
Now it's going back. It's going back to being
No.
personal now.
Stop. We're done. We're done arguing. I'm just saying this, man. First of all, I never said I never said your content was bad. You feel me? I just want to get that out of hand. Should I have called you out? Maybe not. But to me, I'd rather be direct. You feel me? Because I seen you in the chat. I seen a lot of the sneak dissing on Twitter. And that's why
I got more things to do than actually worry about you. It was never
okay,
about
but I'm
you.
just saying, at the end of the day, it started off a Matt Ryan discussion. And at the end of the day, it's like you want to be professional. I'm professional. I've never sneak dissed or disrespect anybody personally because I have a different opinion. When I made the Matt Ryan video, and it was even before then, we had arguments back and forth. You blocked me and you said something about, oh, well, I say content creators need to be basically they need to go up and beyond. You said something like that just because I had a different opinion than the whole, oh, Matt Ryan's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I never said Matt Ryan was a bad quarterback. I just don't hold him as high as you guys do in your value point, which is okay, right? I can have a different opinion. Me and Don don't agree, but Don wasn't disrespecting me.
I'm gonna ask you this question.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna ask you this question since you're a Jets fan.
Okay.
Would you rather? You got to answer this question. Don't dodge it. All right. Would you rather have Sam Darnold or Matt Ryan as your quarterback?
Right now, I would rather have Sam Darnold. Yeah.
Okay.
But hold on. Career wise, I don't know what Sam Darnold's going to do in his career, but he has some talent. There's really nothing around him. Adam Gase didn't really do much for him. I'm not going to sit here and defend him and act like he's done so much, but he does have talent. You put him on San Francisco, you put him on the Colts, you put him with an organization that actually believes in him, some weapons. When was the last time Jets actually got weapons? That's my problem with the Jets. Man, as a Jets fan, man, it's crazy how bad they draft. You feel me? How they put nothing around their quarterback. So Sam Darnold, a younger Sam Darnold right now, I think Sam Darnold has more talent right now. Yeah.
All right, here's my thing.
Atlanta don't want to hear that.
Here's my thing.
Matt Ryan, but no, that's what I really believe.
I'm gonna let you keep believing that. All right. And here's my thing. Every team has talent. Okay. Every team has talent. It ain't just every team has weapons. Everybody, oh, Matt Ryan got weapons. Okay, well, guess what? Other teams have weapons too.
True. I'm just saying, Jets don't have any offensive weapons right now. That's all I'm saying.
All right, and hold on. And one more thing I got to say, and this is very important to everybody. Give me 1 second. This show is sponsored by Manscaped. All right. Now, get 20% off and free shipping when you use the code FILASP2021. All right. And you go to www.manscaped.com. Once again, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. And you use the code FILASP2021. All right. Get all your male grooming needs from manscaped.com. All right. That's pretty much, I wanted to plug that real quick. And we back to the debate. But as I was saying, you want to believe Sam Darnold is you rather have Sam Darnold as Matt Ryan as your quarterback?
Right now. But obviously Matt Ryan has been better over his career. All right, I'm friends with Matt Ryan's career.
Yeah, all right, but listen, I'm friends with Jets fans, and I had some Jets people on the podcast, and they said to themselves that, and I can bring them back on, I can plug them to you. They would rather have Matt Ryan as a quarterback. They will trade everything in the world to get a Matt Ryan for their team.
Not with that roster, I wouldn't. But, I mean, it's not like it's a gimme, like, oh, well, Sam Darnold's way better. I could see both point of views. It's not like I'm sitting here defending Sam like, oh, well, Sam is just so high up, so better than everybody else. That's not what it is. But at the end of the day, I think Sam Darnold in his young career, if you put some real weapons around him and give him a real chance to win, you get him some blocking, get him a number 2 receiver at the least. Look at the roster. Who's the Jets' number 1 receiver? Who do they draft? They really need to draft a receiver in this draft, man. That's what they need to do, even though they're probably going to go quarterback. I don't think Sam Darnold's got an opportunity.
Hey, Keenan, make it. What's good, man? Appreciate you watching the show. Hey, I covered some Falcons news and Braves news yesterday. Check that out on that channel. Also, guys, please note this. The Monday after the Super Bowl, this Monday coming up, Georgia Sports Hospitality Media will be doing daily sports trackers on all the teams in the state of Georgia. That's professional, college, minor league teams. We're going to be covering all that every single day. So please join us, okay? Please join us. All right.
Kenan Macon, I appreciate you joining us. Magnus, man, what's good, everybody?
Yeah, everybody, I'm getting to y'all stuff. Yeah. But look, here's the thing, man. All right.
There's a lot of people laughing, people. There's a lot of people.
Yeah. But here's the thing, man. It's just I understand a lot of people have certain quarterbacks above Matt Ryan because Matt Ryan can't run or Matt Ryan doesn't have an arm, whatever the case may be. But everybody, his peers, all right, people that played the game, we didn't have NFL players on this podcast. They sit up here and said Matt Ryan is an elite quarterback. They just need to build around him, get him in the defense, and they fine. Reggie Kelly, the last person we just had on this show, he's even said that. He's an offensive guy. He played tight end. He said that the Falcons need defense. You get us team of defense, we'll be fine.
Played with a great quarterback in Carson Palmer, so he knows a thing about quarterbacks.
Played with Carson Palmer, yep. And then he played with Matt Ryan for 1 year before he retired.
Oh, yes, he did.
So I'm gonna ask you this question and then we'll move on because I know you want to ask me some questions, Jansen. Yeah. So we send at 4. What do you think the Falcons should do at 4?
I think the Falcons should take Justin Fields at number 4, and if they don't do that, trade back and maybe get a Najee Harris or trade back and maybe get an edge rusher. And let's put that theory to test. I don't think Matt Ryan is gonna win them a Super Bowl. I don't see it. I think Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot eventually they're gonna want to bring in their own guy. And maybe they do that at number 4. Maybe he sits behind Matt Ryan for a year or so. Matt Ryan's still a capable quarterback of making some plays, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I think, okay, well, since Arthur Smith's in town, year 1, it's going to be a deep playoff run. I hope. You feel me? Hopefully things change around.
Hold on, Matt. Hold on. Go ahead.
Can I finish my spiel? Thank you. But, yeah, I think at number 4 they go Justin Fields, and, I mean, I don't think that's far-fetched. But, again, I don't – here's my thing. And a lot of guys are sensitive. When you don't have the same opinion, it's you're crazy. It's all these personal attacks. It's, oh, you don't watch the game of football. Oh, you're an outsider. That's okay. I'm still going to think the same way and say the same stuff. You feel me? There's been plenty of players on that Falcons team, current and former, who I've showed a lot of love to. Talked about Warwick Dunn. Talked about a lot of guys. And I don't just talk about the Falcons. People talk about numbers, and you talk about YouTube numbers and stuff like that. You know, some of my boxing videos got over 35,000 views, but who cares? You know, that's not about that. It's about respecting people's opinions. I think at number 4, to answer your question, though, Don, I think they're going to go with Justin Fields. I think they're going to go with a quarterback. You feel me? I'm not saying that means they're giving up a Matt Ryan. Obviously not, but he's getting up there in age. We can't assume he's going to be a guy who's going to play into his 40s. I know there's a lot of Matt Ryan fans out here who they're so connected to the city, which I get. Where it's like, even if he is declining or has a bad game, it's going to be somebody else's fault. I just don't happen to think that way. You feel me? I think you pay a guy $30 million, you hold him accountable. And and back to your point, Don, you talked about, and people jumped on my throats about this. I never directly said Matt Ryan wasn't a top 10 quarterback. I said when you look at all those quarterbacks that I listed that were borderline, I said Matt Ryan was borderline a top 10 quarterback right now in this league. In 2020, I'm not going to sit here and act like he had the greatest season on earth. That's just not my opinion. I watched other quarterbacks play and stuff like that. I said it's debatable towards the end of that top 10 if you want to put him in there. I just don't think I could sit here and say he's 6 or number 5. I've seen a lot of high numbers like that. I just don't feel like he's that guy anymore. You feel me?
So who are those 9 other guys?
Hold on.
Like I said, I'm not going to mention it again. You can go back to the tweet. I said it's debatable.
Let me ask Miss Maggie T. Miss Maggie T. Yes, Manscaped can be purchased by women. Use the code FILASP2021. All right, you can buy it for your boyfriend, husband. You can buy it for whoever. All right, and y'all know you probably got some nephews that's in high school or whatever. Hey, tell them they need to take care of them. You got to groom yourself as a man, so you got to take care of yourself down there. So yeah, appreciate you on that. But yeah,
can beta males do it? Can beta males buy that also?
Man, any male can buy it, man. I don't care. It can be an omega. It could be an omega male, a zeta male, or sigma male, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like,
it's all good to me.
Kappa male, like, I don't care. Like, just buy the product and use the code
go ahead and buy the product.
2021.
Sweet, I got you. You know I got you.
Hey. All right. So, okay. All right. So you saying draft Justin Fields because we're on a new regime? That's your argument, right? That's their claim.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're either going to do that or I think they're going to trade back. I think you got San Francisco, New England. Both those teams, they look like they need quarterbacks. Maybe. You feel me? It's always unpredictable. You don't know what these teams are going to do in the draft. We can sit here and talk about it all day, but at the end of the day, you don't know. You feel me?
You're right. And here's the thing, and I was going to say,
it's not far-fetched.
There's teams that went under new regimes that never drafted a quarterback as a first pick. You look at Carolina last year. Did they draft a quarterback? No, they didn't. They brought in Teddy Bridgewater, and they built up their defense. You look at San Francisco when Kyle Shanahan got there. There was a new regime under John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Did they draft a quarterback? They could have drafted Deshaun Watson, but they didn't do that.
Yeah, that's too bad now.
Well, but they still went to the Super Bowl, though.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think they'll be back, though, unless they get another quarterback.
Well,
unless they replace Jimmy G.
But guess what? Their defense got them there. It wasn't Jimmy Garoppolo. It was their defense that got them there.
Absolutely.
That's all you need. If you have a defense, if you go
I just think they need some quarterback play over there in San Francisco.
But listen, though, if you look at and I told Cam Marino, all these guys this, and Adamaski, and Mark W, whoever that from Utah or whatever. I don't even know how you in Utah, how you get internet. But anyway, right. But you look at Super Bowl history. Okay, yeah, you go see the Joe Montanas, you go see the Troy Aikmans, you go see the Tom Brady's, you go see the Terry Bradshaw, you go see those guys. But if you look at those teams, they also had a dominant defense. They had a top 10 defense. They got them the wins.
What else?
You look at Aaron Rodgers. You look at Aaron Rodgers.
What else they had on top of that, Don? What else did they have on top of the defense?
They had good coaching.
Great coaching. It matters.
Coaching. You're not finna sit up here and tell me, or anybody finna sit up here and tell me Mike Smith was a great coach. If that was the case, why he hasn't been a head coach since he left Atlanta? Only good coach we had here in Atlanta is Dan Reeves. That's it. Reeves? Dan Reeves, Arthur Blank, he made a mistake by firing him after that 2003 season, and I know he regretted. But at the same time, that's the best coach we had. Yeah, you can talk about Mike Smith winning all these games and stuff. He's the most winning coach in franchise history. I get it. But at the same time, when it comes to balancing the team out, Dan Reeves had that 98 team like top 5 in all categories. Because I tell people any day that 1998 team would beat the brakes off of that 2016 team.
Easy work.
You got to have a good coaching and you got to have a complete team. It doesn't matter if you have. Look, let's look at Peyton Manning in 2013. The man was on fire. What happened to him in the Super Bowl when he played the Seahawks?
Yeah, they did get ran through
by that defense. Let's look at I even go back further. Let's look at the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, and you look at
defense like that ain't around no more.
Rich Gannon,
league done changed.
Yeah, but it's still constant though. We just seen a few.
I mean, defense does matter. Defense does matter, but quarterback play is very essential nowadays. That carries heavy weight. That's why you see a lot of these quarterbacks. They carry those big salaries for a reason. You feel me? That a lot of coaching staffs are built around and cater to the quarterback position. And it's not just throwing the ball all around, throwing for a lot of yards. It's the leadership aspect. It's the aura that you give off. I feel like a lot of that matters. I think when you draft, especially a lot of these teams who draft in the top 10, and I can't name all the coaches off my head, but you see some of the bad quarterbacks or the busts that are drafted at the top of the draft, a lot of these coaches get fired. I'm not saying defense doesn't matter. Defense does matter. The Falcons do need to improve on defense. Fowler needs to, and he used the excuse that he was hurt. Maybe it was valid, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not around him, but hopefully he could do better. He could be their premier pass rusher they thought he could be, and they can get some pressure. I agree with that, but I think you're kind of downplaying, I think, a little bit quarterback play in the NFL. I think when you look at the teams that are in the Super Bowl,
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
True, but that was a long time ago. That was a very long time ago.
I'm not downplaying quarterback play, but at the same time, that's important. But at the same time,
defense is important. You got to get a pass rush.
Listen, pass rush is important. Getting turnovers is important. Not committing a lot of penalties is important. The time of possession is important. Coaching staff, scheming up plays, all that is important. If you lacking one or more of those, you're not seeing a postseason.
I agree, but I look at and Mad Mike. I know you bring him up a lot too, and this is one of the points we debated a couple of times before things kind of went a little bit too crazy. I remember you said something about New England with Bill Belichick, and I thought it was a great example you used, talking about coaching matters and stuff. Well, look at the situation he's in. You see the quarterback he has. You see the lack of talent at receivers. That's what Tom Brady was dealing with the season prior. They won 12 games. They lost to the Titans. He nearly had nothing on offense. And you see the position he's in with Cam Newton as his quarterback. So I think – I'm not saying coaching doesn't matter. Coaching matters. But let's not act like this Bucs team is in the Super Bowl. Yes, Shaq Barrett gave him a pass rush. And yes, the defense stepped up where they needed to. But Tom Brady's leadership, Tom Brady's aura is why they're in the Super Bowl, in my opinion. He's the number one guy with it. And I'm glad finally you see Bruce Arians. He came out and said it. I think he was a little bit passive-aggressive in the beginning, kind of talking, our quarterback doesn't need to make these mistakes, kind of calling Brady out. But this isn't an average quarterback who's just throwing a lot of yards. It's a quarterback who's won Super Bowls. You can't – it's not the same type of relationship. Then he comes out and says after the NFC title win and saying, oh, well, yeah, sometimes I let Tom Brady do his thing and coach a little bit, kind of playing more on that. Yeah, a lot of this has to do with Brady because last season we weren't a playoff team, okay, with Jameis Winston. He couldn't fix Jameis, all right? I don't know how much of it he tried. I know the turnovers, and I do hold Jameis accountable. That counts for the contract he got with the Saints, which is terrible. But at the end of the day, Bruce Arians wasn't able to get the job done and get this far as a head coach, not coordinator, as a head coach without Tom Brady. Tom Brady has a lot to do with the success. Coaching does matter. I just feel like you need a great quarterback. Great quarterback play still matters in this league.
Yes, you do, but at the same time,
and look at the Chiefs.
Hold on. You're not going to sit here, and I'm going to be honest with you. You're not going to sit here and just say Bruce Arians is not a good coach.
I didn't say he's not a good coach. He's not a great coach, in my opinion.
He is a great coach. Listen, hold on. The man. Look, I'm not saying he's like up there with Bill Belichick, but if you look at top 10 coaches in the league right now, he's in the top 10.
He's definitely top 5. He's definitely a top 5 head coach in the league.
This man has look what he's done to certain quarterback. Look at what he done to Carson Palmer. Yes, the Cardinals didn't go back to the Super Bowl, under Bruce Arians, but they went to the championship game.
Let me say this. This is where a lot of people get that. Like, this is where I've always stated when we talking about teams, I don't give a flying fuck who is great at what. I don't care about what Tom Brady is good at. I don't care about what Matt Ryan is good at. If you don't have a head coach who has the ability to bring everything together as a cohesive unit and put together a scheme and a game plan together where everyone's skill set is maximized. This is why Arthur Smith is here in Atlanta, to bring a scheme here and to maximize everyone's skill set. This is why I've always stated that Vic Beasley was not a bust. Why? Because Dan Quinn did not use his skill set to the maximum ability. This is why I've always said with Dirk Cutter, you have a guy like Hayden Hurst who's not catching the ball, and you're using him more as a blocker than a receiver. You're not maximizing his talent. When you have a guy like Dante Fowler, who is a guy who can not only rush the passer, he's good on run defense, he's good and he's adequate as a cover guy, you're not maximizing their talent. So it does not matter. It does not matter who you draft at 1, 4, 10, 20, even in the 7th round. If you're not maximizing their talent, then you're not doing your job as a head coach. Period.
And that right there is merit of everything, because like if you have to the first thing you got to do as a GM and a head coach. GM, you got to figure out, will this play, if I'm drafting this guy or bringing this guy in for free agency, is this guy going to fit what we doing?
Absolutely.
This is why we brought in Terry Fortno. He was known for bringing in guys for free agency in New Orleans. He also scouted some players in college too. All right. Thomas Dimitrov, man, his identity was offense, scoring a lot of points. What did that get us? That didn't get us nowhere at all. All right. Arthur Smith, he knows how to utilize and put his players in the best position to succeed. You've seen this in Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill was almost a bust in his league. Came off the bench.
Fantastic.
They benched Marcus Mariota. Hold on. They benched Marcus Mariota, who was what, second overall in 2015. All right. And bench him for Ryan Tannehill. All right.
Yeah.
And Ryan Tannehill pretty much the last 24 games put up almost the same amount of stats as Pat Mahomes. So if he did that with Ryan Tannehill, let's imagine what this man can do with Matt Ryan.
We're going to see this year, aren't we? We're going to see this year. Are we moving on to other questions? Or are we still on the Matt Ryan thing?
Matt, Mike, you got anything else to say? Because I'm trying to hurry up and get up the show because AFN got a show at 8:30.
Like I've always said before, all right, and this is where I always stand. I always stand for the people, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the people. We got to make sure that the people get exactly what they want, and that's the stats and the facts. I don't give a damn if it's something that I go against, whether it's a player or it's a coach. It's all about the stats and the facts, and we have to give the people nothing but the truth and leave out anything that is in this. You can't put feelings
in at all, actually. But okay, he ain't talking to me.
I'm not. Well, let me just say in general. Like,
okay, I was hoping for. It alluded like he was trying to put that towards me. I don't. Even some of the Matt Ryan videos I made, I'm talking from my perspective with the numbers I've had. You feel me?
Bro, you are really sensitive. You really are sensitive, bro. I wasn't even pertaining to you.
Okay.
All right. So
you have a blessed night.
All right, AFN will be on at 8:30 tonight. Y'all check that out. It will be a good show. So, just saying.
Hey, can I plug this one thing? My bad. I'm sorry about that. But you guys, if you don't know, myself and Don, man, we are affiliate. We've been affiliates, and we've done a lot of things together, especially for GSHM. I am a member of GSHM, so I want you guys to continue to not only support me. All right, so if you support me, man, I want everybody to go to GSHM right now on Twitter, on YouTube, and really get behind his movement, what we do here, and not just Mad Mike Sports and even Jansen. Like I said, it's all about giving the people exactly what they want. All right. Give the people what they want. I don't care about feelings. I don't care about what you believe in your heart and what you want happening. My job is to assess what Arthur Blank and Rich McKay is doing and give you guys an educated guess on what will happen. That's what we do. Okay. Man, that's all we do.
We've been right about Arthur Smith. We've been all right about Arthur Smith being the head coach. We've been right about not, because everybody was talking about Eric Bieniemy. Everybody was talking about Louis Riddick, and we said that we're not hiring these guys. And we was the ones saying that, hey, we're not hiring them. And what happened? Now you see that Matt Ryan Julio is not getting traded. So we've been telling people this. So come draft night, you guys, and we send that forward, and you hear the Falcons. Either this is what's going to happen. They're going to say the Falcons with the 4th overall pick in the 2021 draft. The Falcons select Penei Sewell, Oregon, offensive tackle. If that happens, I'll
give you credit. If it happens.
If it happens, either him or they're gonna say, hold on.
I give credit when I'm wrong.
Hold on. Or they're gonna say the Falcons with the 2000 with the 4th overall pick in the 2001 draft, the Falcons select Michael Parsons, linebacker, Penn State. Or they're gonna say the Falcons have decided to trade their pick with the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Washington NFL football team, I'm telling you, one of those three scenarios is going to happen.
San Francisco better make a play for that fourth pick, in my opinion.
Okay, well.
Hey, since we're all making plugs, can I plug in? Is it a time to plug in?
Go ahead, man.
All right, everybody follow me, all social media platforms, Just Good Network. You get boxing content, not just Atlanta sports, all different perspectives. Check Sean Fowler out. And again, thank these two gentlemen, even though we had a little argument. It's all good, man. It's all sports. And, hey, we tell our truth. It's not just narrative-based. Sometimes it's narrative. So what? We're talking sports. We're not ducking and dodging opinions. If you have a different opinion, cool. Hit me up. God bless. And I'm having fun tonight. I think it was productive. You feel me? So everybody got different opinions. So, yeah.
All right. Okay. Man, Mike, you good?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just giving him the proper respect to not talk. That's all.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Jansen. Go ahead and shoot me with your questions, man.
Yeah, man. I was wondering, and I appreciate you again, Don. Phenomenal platform. Appreciate you having me on. What players do you think the Falcons should target in free agency? We know there's some cap situations where they don't have much money. What guys do you think they should target?
Well, I'm not going to put a name behind. I will put a position.
Okay.
Because it all depends. The name has more value, market value than the other player behind them. But right now, the Falcons need to add a little more veteranship on defense. So if they can get a veteran cornerback, I know we got one in Denard, but just add another one. I'll be fine with that, or a vet safety.
Okay.
Right now, we don't know what's going to happen with Keanu Neal. We don't know if they're going to give him a contract. We don't know if we're going to let him walk. We don't know if he won't even come back, because he is a free agent after this, now, and he can decide to go to Dallas with Dan Quinn. So all we know. But that, or add some more pieces to the offensive line, because, Arthur Smith, he has an identity. He knows what type of offensive lineman he wants to have on this team.
Okay. Do you feel like a guy like Marcus Williams would be affordable for the Falcons at all? You think they get any looks at him?
If not, I'm pretty sure he has that relationship with Terry Fortno. Fortno been there for 16 years. So they can try to get him a good, a good marginal contract. He may come, but I know a lot of people will sit up here and say, well, he missed that tackle in the Minnesota game, but he's a good serviceable safety, you guys. So that's just my opinion on that.
Okay. While you're in here, what do you think?
You need depth, huh?
Is Mike still in here?
Yeah.
Who do you think they should get? Free agency 2021, if you don't mind answering.
Personally, I think the Falcons, like Don kind of reiterated what Don was saying, the Falcons most definitely need veteranship. So I don't think they need, at this point, they have enough talent and leadership with Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett is obviously one of the best defensive tackles in the league, behind Aaron Donald, in my opinion. But they most definitely need a free safety that I think at this point that has to have experience, because you bring in a free safety at this point with not only Keanu Neal being a huge question, it's no guarantee that you're going to hit the jackpot with a safety in this coming draft. So it has to be a veteran safety, a free safety for me personally. I don't have the names right now, but free safety is obvious. They can run multiple fronts as far as the linebacking crew. You have Foyer, Dion, Michael Walker, who's one of the best linebackers, highest rated linebackers, rookie linebackers this year. And the Falcons have yet to really find out what he could do. So as far as that concerned, I say a free safety. In free agency, that's who I think.
Okay, appreciate it. I'm thinking maybe a Mike Hilton from the Steelers. Not a great corner, but pretty good. Maybe could be a good number 2. Again, I don't know how the cap, if they can maneuver it. We'll see what they could do with that, or maybe a Shaquille Griffin if he can stay healthy. I know he had some injury problems, but if he could stay healthy, maybe that would be productive for the Falcons to get him, especially with Oliver. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. Matt, so let's move right into that. Isaiah Oliver, Dean Pease, he comes in, he's saying a lot of things. He's saying a lot of things people want to hear, aggressive, blitzing. Do you think that's going to benefit Oliver in year 2? We'll start with you, Don.
You got a guy like Coach Hoke, who's known for getting the best out of defensive backs and grooming defensive backs. People forgot that he was responsible for getting Darnell Savage, getting him NFL ready. I like the hires with the coaching staff, and I can trust them to try to get the best out of Isaiah Oliver. We'll see this season. Pease, like I said, Pease is like the best person we can get as a DC. Him and remember, I pretty much been telling people him or Wade Phillips. If we got an offensive-minded head coach, you got to get a guy like Wade Phillips. All right, and Pease is pretty much neck and neck with Wade Phillips. They both won a Super Bowl. All right, they both been coached great defenses. So I have a lot of confidence in Pease and their coaching staff to not only try to finish and developing Isaiah Oliver, but get these other guys like Marlon Davis and John Kaminsky, AJ Terrell and Kendall Sheffield. Like those are guys that we still don't know their potential yet.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing about Oliver. I feel like, going back to your points on the coaching, I think there was a little bit too high of expectation on him. He's still 24, got good size, 6 feet. Mike, how do you feel about Oliver coming into this season?
I actually think Dean Pease is the perfect coach for Isaiah Oliver. Isaiah Oliver he's one of those players that has a multitude and a wide range of abilities. He's a great slot corner. We've seen that when Raheem made the move to kind of put him in the slot. He played a lot better. He definitely has issues with his hip, so I don't necessarily think he's one of those guys that you can kind of put him on the outside and not have a adequate safety in the bottom. But what he does well is tackle. He's a great tackler. He's physical. And he definitely has the downhill speed that you need from a slot corner and a safety. And with a guy like Dean Pease, who likes to send blitzes from all over, I think Isaiah Oliver is actually the best player for a guy. It reminds me of the Falcons, how the Falcons used to use Brian Poole, send him blitzes and, kind of use him in the slot as an extra linebacker, a sure tackler. I think that's what he can be for Dean Pease. So I think, I really do like Isaiah Oliver in this style of defense. I think it's absolutely perfect for Dean Pease.
Let's transition to Todd Gurley. When we look at him, he only had a 100-yard game, and after week 9, he couldn't even really get 10 carries. Maybe a lot of that, probably all of it had to do with his health, and we could put some blame on Cutter too, not using him. What do you guys think they should do with Todd Gurley and potentially look at the running back position? What are some of the guys you guys are targeting, starting with you, Don? I know we talked a little bit about it before.
We need to get younger at running back. You still have Quadre Olison on the team. Let's see what this guy. Well, let's see what this young man got. All right, but it's still, you got Javonte Williams, Najee Harris. You got some other good running backs too coming out of the draft. Draft one of those guys to try to be your feature back. Javonte Williams can be a feature back in this league if you have a good offensive line. Even if you don't, I've seen tape of this guy in North Carolina, and North Carolina don't even have a line, running through people.
Absolutely. His junior season, he was explosive in between the tackle. He has the big playability. He has speed. Mike, let's go to you. What do you think? I know Todd Gurley didn't have the best this season. What do you feel? How do you feel right now about Todd Gurley, and what direction should the Falcons go at running back?
To be honest, I think Todd Gurley fits this new staff better than he fit last year's staff with Dirk Cutter. I think Dirk Cutter had absolutely no clue how to use Todd Gurley outside of the red zone, and I think when you look at his abilities, not only as a red zone short yardage running back, get touchdowns and whatnot. Todd Gurley is actually a damn good receiver out of the backfield, and being able to use him as not only a red zone target, but he can, you can use him on those screenplays to kind of get, big plays. He doesn't necessarily have the breakaway speed, but when you look at him as a back that is a complementary back, kind of a platoon back. You're not using him as the number one back for the most part. I think he does add value, if not, for the Falcons, some other team. So I think he does have value.
Okay. Sir, who entered the group, do you have an opinion on Todd Gurley or the direction they should go at running back, sir?
I would also say that we should get Young at the back. I mean, I like Gurley for the most part, what he's done. I don't think his knee really was holding up, and I also don't think that Dirk could have used him in the right way. The prime example of that is like when you hear your coaching staff get in the newsroom and they tell you that Edo Smith became your starter because he's been running the ball well. To me, that says a lot about what your offense what the game plan for Gurley was. Because if a smaller back and Edo Smith was able to become the starter over Todd Gurley, to me something is wrong with that. But I do also feel like we do need to get Young in that position. Drafting one would be the way to go. But also, you could possibly find a gem undrafted, because I know we all have seen that at some point in our lives, that we've seen like these backs they don't get looked at all, and then they come in and just be this dynamite in the league. So I would definitely say try to move on from that, because I mean, like I said, I like Gurley, but I don't see us bringing him back for another season.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about Grady Jarrett.
Save money getting a younger guy that can run.
Okay. Before we get to Grady Jarrett, do you guys think it would be irresponsible for the Falcons to jump back and draft a Najee Harris in the first round? Do you think running backs should still go in the first round?
Absolutely not. That's just at this day and age. There's so many talented backs, not only in the NFL, but like the scheme wise, especially with guys with the not West Coast, but the outside zone running scheme. You don't need talented backs. You just need the offensive line to be to work in unison. So like at this point, what you need from running backs is the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, to add that other dimension outside of being a running back. That's what you need in this NFL. So a guy like Najee Harris in the first round is just irresponsible. I would not take him in the first round.
Okay.
Even with his ability.
Former second team. Go ahead.
I was going to add to that, because like I do agree with Mike. Now I will say if he's like otherworldly talent, for example, like if you have like a person like a Derrick Henry on the draft board, then you really probably wouldn't want to pass that up in the first round. But anything less than, I don't see a running back being a first round talent. Like none of these days and age. Like I just said, let me reiterate the fact that you can literally find a dynamite back in undrafted in today's football compared to years past. Like you pretty much had to get it back in the first round. But now, like you said, like Mike said, like today's society, in today's game, you don't need one in the first round. Like to be honest,
you've got a good offensive line. Anybody can run through it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, to be honest, you don't even really truly. I'm about on a limb to say that drafting a running back in the top 2 rounds would be kind of reaching in a sense.
Oh, okay. Let's transition to Grady Jarrett, 2-time Pro Bowler. He was a second team All-Pro at one point. What do you guys expect from him under Pease? Do you expect more hurries? Do you expect more sacks? Do you expect him to get more one-on-ones and other guys to step up? Don, let's start with you. What do you expect out of Grady Jarrett this season for the Falcons?
I've been saying this for a while now. Grady Jarrett does not have anybody next to him to eat up more blocks, so he can be one-on-one with the lineman. And we've seen if Grady Jarrett goes one-on-one with any lineman in this league, all right, he's going to end up winning that matchup. All right. This is why I've been pounding the table for us to draft a solid, big, nasty, cornbread fed from the country with a K, nose tackle. All right. Travis Shelvin. If you don't know who he is, the nose tackle for LSU, look him up. Go watch tape on this guy. We need somebody like him. 360-something pounds. 6'3". You put him next to Grady Jarrett, he gonna get double triple team, and Grady Jarrett is just gonna eat. I can see if we go Travis Shelvin in the draft, because P said we're gonna be multi front, but you run a 3-4, you have Grady on the outside, you have Travis Shelvin in the middle and as nose tackle. Grady Jarrett gonna have double-digit sacks. I'm telling you, I'm calling it. If we draft a Travis Shelvin or anybody of that nature, you need someone to eat up blocks. You need someone who's not going to be on the stat sheet.
Do you think Marlon Davidson could be that guy?
No.
You guys don't believe in Marlon Davidson? Mike, how do you feel about it, Mike, with Jarrett? You still there?
He gone.
He probably gone. But
there we go. My bad. I don't think with the Grady Jarrett, one thing you don't worry about when it comes to Grady Jarrett is ability to get after the quarterback. The kind of piggyback off what Dunn was saying, what the Falcons don't have is one, they don't have a proper scheme. The scheme has forever been outdated. This is something that I've been speaking on for a while. They run the same, for a while. They've run the same cover three. If when we're in trouble, we run cover three. We start the game with cover three. We live and die by the cover three. So when you have a system where it's predictable, it makes it easier for the offense to find Grady Jarrett, and that's something that Dan Pease is going to bring to the Atlanta Falcons, is that ability to mask and hide defenders. And this is what the great defensive coordinators do well. They hide their best players and create one-on-one opportunities for their best players. So when you see Grady Jarrett with 4 sacks and 5 sacks and 8 sacks, that right there is telling you that, one, the defensive coordinator is not doing a good job of hiding his number one star. Period, point blank. And it's the same thing with the offensive coordinator. If you lack, if you have a lack of opportunities, or you're not scoring touchdowns in the red zone, that right there is a direct correlation. Is your offensive coordinator is not creating opportunities for your star. So, like, anytime everybody asks why Grady Jarrett is not getting sacks, is because the offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators are not doing their job.
Okay. I like what you just brought up about red zone touchdowns. Red zone touchdowns are schemed. All right, they just don't happen. They are schemed. You got to think about it. The field is shorter. All right. Guess what? The defensive players, they don't have that much space to cover. So in order for your team to score a touchdown in the red zone, you have to do a good job scheming. Or if you're not scoring, you're going to come out with field goals.
Okay. Did you have an opinion on the other defensive lineman maybe freeing up Jarrett? I'm sorry. Can you also give me your name?
My name is LaTravis. You've probably seen me.
Nice to meet you, LaTravis.
I've commented on some of the stuff that you said about it. My Twitter name is wordplay_kid26. So, yeah. But with Grady, I would like to reiterate what these guys said. He really didn't have no running mate and DT. And me personally, I do think the Falcons may actually transition to being a 3-4 defense. So that would lead to us possibly bringing in a big nose tackle. And I think that having him in that middle would give opportunity and space for Grady Jarrett to have somebody to eat up those blocks and let Grady Jarrett, flourish in one-on-one situations. And by us possibly going into a 3-4 defense, that would lead to like blitz packages that would lead to, him being in even more one-on-one situations. Because if you got somebody on one side like a Deion Jones blitzer in the A gap, or you got Foye Olakun coming on the outside, like those guys could create those between stunts and whatnot. They could win their one-on-one matchups, and that would lead to Grady Jarrett actually having probably a phenomenal year, where to the point that he might even get voted as far as second team All Pro.
Okay, good stuff. That's all the questions I have, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Guys,
Before we go, I do have a question for you, Jansen, because I know y'all had the Matt Ryan debate, and I was a little late because it's still working. But I got a question for you. When it came to the Super Bowl for the Falcons between Atlanta and New England, whose fault was it that they lost?
I do put a lot of blame on Matt Ryan. I'm sorry. I thought he should have closed out. I know other factors play a fact into it, but to me, and we could go on for days. I already know I'm going to get it 3 ways with you guys, man. I already know how a lot of y'all Atlanta guys are. You know, everybody's fault there. The scheme.
It ain't got nothing to do with Atlanta, man. It ain't got nothing to do with Atlanta.
It's more Atlanta.
Nah, I already know how y'all Atlanta people are, man. I mean, you got to. I mean, I know
there's more Atlanta people that hate Matt Ryan.
Let me reiterate. I am from Sylvania, so
niggas from Sylvania, man.
They love me on. Hey, when I talk about around Facebook, they be like Twitter.
So let me ask you this, because you say you put the blame on Matt. So Matt made the play for us to be in field goal range. Would you not run the ball 3 times, keep the field goal, and give you a 11-point lead?
Hey man, yeah, that sounds good. But what I'm saying is this: it's a quarterback league. Quarterbacks take a lot of blame that they shouldn't get, and they also take a lot of credit they shouldn't get. We know this. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but when we look back at it. If they don't get back to the Super Bowl and Matt Ryan doesn't win, I'm just saying if we look back at it, maybe not in Atlanta's perspective, the eyes, but across like maybe more of a national view, people are going to look at it like, okay, well, he never won the big game. Is it fair? Maybe not, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying what it is. I'm not saying it's fair. It's this or this. Atlanta legend, of course, but I'm just saying that's how people look at these games. I even look at, let's talk about Russell Wilson real quick. And nobody will say this because the media is so much in love with Russell Wilson. They won't look back at that Super Bowl that he threw the pick against Butler and hold him any type of accountable, or even say, okay, yeah, they should have ran it in. But that, to me, he made the play and it got intercepted. I hold him accountable a little bit. I blame quarterbacks when they don't close the deal because a lot of them get too much credit.
So we just gonna skip past that. But Bill didn't even call a running play. They called a pass play at the 1 yard line. That's not the coach's fault.
I'm not saying it's not the coach's fault. What I'm saying is when quarterbacks don't make that big
but you're not saying it. That's the problem that I'm having. You're not saying it. You're not saying it. That's the problem that I'm having. You're not saying
it. Pete Carroll himself came out and said that he pretty much overrided the offensive coordinator's decision because he's a defensive guy. He overrided the offensive coordinator decision to throw instead of running. Bro, Pete Carroll is the reason why that Seattle only has one Super Bowl instead of 2.
Hey, it is what it is. It's just like this argument. I made an argument the other day. I said Matt Ryan was better than Eli Manning. In Atlanta, of course, you know Atlanta people. You say Matt Ryan's better than Aaron Rodgers. You're gonna have 60% of Atlanta saying yay, yay. People were killing me in New York with that one. They're like, are you kidding me? But I really do think Matt Ryan's better than Eli Manning if you look at his career. But people in New York killing me, man.
So how is he better than hold on. How he's better than Matt Ryan? But you just said
no. I said Matt Ryan. Excuse me, Matt Ryan's. I said Matt Ryan was better than Eli Manning.
I know, but you just said too though a while back. You said that Sam Darnold. You'd rather have Sam Darnold as your quarterback.
No. Right now. I'm not talking about career.
Right now.
Right now.
Why? That's the question that I have for you. Why? Like, what do you see in Sam Darnold that's better than Matt Ryan? Like right now.
Personally, I'd rather have Deshaun over both of them. But I think Sam Darnold, he hasn't got a fair shake. You give him a number 1 or even a number 2 receiver, being a Jets fan, I think we should give him an opportunity to win. I think Adam Gase, which he's out of there, was a terrible coach. Shouldn't have got the job anyways after what happened in Miami. But at the end of the day, Sam Darnold has never got an opportunity. So give him an opportunity. He won them a couple games, really all on him. You don't have any talent around him.
Russell never had the opportunity. He didn't have the opportunity because he fucking sucked. My bad.
Well, let me say this because
you know what I'm saying. That's how I look at it. You feel me? I'm not saying Sam Darnold's all world. I'm not one of those guys who say if he had this and this and this, he might not be as good as I think he could be, but I think he should get an opportunity
I will say that he don't. I will say that Adam Gase was a horrific hire. I don't even know why the Jets even made that
I would
hire.
have never done that.
But like, and I felt like that's kind of what hurt him, and it hurt Sam Darnold because they have had the issues with Gase. But with you saying him not getting a fair shake now, as much as everybody like to say that Matt Ryan was giving the whole world. Let me recap some of the quote unquote weaponry that Matt Ryan has had. People bring up Ryder White. People forget that Ryder White was on the verge of being a bust before Matt Ryan got drafted. And then he started flourishing when Matt Ryan became his quarterback. Now, don't get me wrong, having the Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez, that's important, but people don't realize that Tony Gonzalez was on the verge of hanging it up. He played 5 extra seasons because of who? Matt Ryan. He pretty much came out and admitted like 2010 was going to be his last season. He played 3 more years because of Matt. We all know the greatness of Julio Jones. I get it. You know what I'm saying? All world, all pro athlete, whatever the case may be. The dude's phenomenal. But then let's bring up the other guys that people like to mention, but don't realize they didn't do nothing prior to Matt Ryan or after Matt Ryan. Harry Douglas got a contract when he left Atlanta. He didn't do nothing after that. Mohamed Sanu was basically a 5th option in Cincinnati, was the number 2 option in Atlanta, and then since he's been gone, we've been cut twice between New England and San Francisco. Mindful, he first in a Kyle Shanahan type offense, but he went to San Francisco and was there for maybe 2 weeks and was cut. Taylor Gabriel got a big contract for Chicago and was cut in Chicago. So like those guys did not flourish without Matt. You brought up the fact that coaches get hired and fired because of quarterbacks. Well, 3 of Matt Ryan's OCs all got head coaching gigs. Mike Mularkey, Derek Cuddle, and Kyle Shanahan. And people don't even realize this, that there were reports that Sarkisian was in line for a head coaching gig after the 2018 season. But after the issues that we had and we lost some of the games that we shouldn't have lost due to our offense not producing, he ended up not getting the job and going back to college, to the college level of football. So again, I understand. Now, I'm not sitting here saying Matt has made his mistakes, no doubt about it. Every person that plays this game make mistakes. But when I do an overall assessment of Matt's career, Matt has done really and truly, to be honest, Matt has overachieved with what we presented with him. He has overachieved. Yeah, this man has never had a defense in his whole career.
We've been saying all this. We have been saying all this. Like you got every offensive coordinator that came in the door. You got them jobs.
Yeah, here goes a job.
And like let's look at Alex Smith. Alex Smith went through the same thing in San Francisco. He didn't do that.
And to add to the fact that like when I look at Matt Ryan's MVP season, even though they had like every person under the man was getting first place votes, do you know why Matt really truly deserved that MVP that season? Our defense broke an NFL record by we have won 6 games that year, allowing our opponents to score 28 points or better. We had literally had games where we had put up 30 plus points, and before you know it, it was a 1-score game. The game that a lot of Falcons fans love, the 300-yard game for Julio Jones. Yeah, we was up like 30 something to 14, and when you blinked again in the 4th quarter, it was they were down by 8 points. Mindful, we knocked out Cam Newton in that game, and they scored 2 touchdowns with Derek Anderson in the game. So yeah, that like stuff like that happens. That is like, so when the 28-3 happened, it didn't surprise me. It was disappointing as a Falcon fan, but it didn't surprise me. We've been playing with fire all season, and they finally bit us the day that you didn't want it to bite us. I'd rather would have blew it against the Packers in the playoffs than watching it happen on the biggest stage and on the man. But it is what it is. But that's why we defend Matt Ryan the way we do. It's not saying that this man does not make his mistakes. He does make his mistakes, and we do acknowledge his mistakes. But when you look at the last couple of seasons, it's been a combination of him having offensive coordinator changes along with bad play calling has really what made him look bad. The fact that Matt Ryan threw only 11 interceptions this year is really phenomenal compared to what he should have been throwing. He should have been in the 20s.
You seen what happened with Dirk Cutter on the Winston. Oof, we don't want to bring that up.
Right. Oh. So it's not like we get on to you about, because I respect anybody. Like you said, a football opinion is a football opinion. I get it. But like I will admit to you that the one comment you made that rubbed me the wrong way was the Matt Ryan out of alpha male comment. That rubbed me the wrong way because I watched my quarterback go out there and he raised hell and he cussed his star receivers out and whatnot. Like him not being an alpha male is very false. False.
Go back and watch some of his tape when he played at Boston College. He cussing the whole coaching staff, Boston College coaching staff out. That'll let you know everything you need to know about Matt Ryan.
The famous get effing set that people heard on national television. He was talking to his star receiver. He was talking to Julio
about that one.
Star receiver like that. Who talks to Julio Jones like that? Like that's like who has the ball to talk to one of the greatest receivers of all time and say get fucking set to your star? You say that to Antonio Brown. You say that to guys like Mike Thomas. They're ready to ask for a trade. They're looking for a trade.
Don't bring up Antonio Brown. That's stage 4 cancer right there. I'm surprised, man. I guess Tampa got good chemotherapists down there because in Pittsburgh, good God, they had to cut that cancer out.
But back to what we said, and we're not and people are thinking that we just being homers. We're not being homers. Like Ryan Michael, like all these other people. I done had people on this show from other teams that sat here and said Matt Ryan is elite, is an elite quarterback. He needs XYZ.
Players that we've interviewed,
former NFL players. Right? It ain't just come out of our mouth.
Chuck Smith, I've interviewed Chuck Smith, and like I said, Chuck Smith put me on the game that I wasn't even aware of, and it made me go back and watch film a different way. I've been educated by NFL players, myself and Dunn. The Travis, we've been educated by NFL players. So when we say things about Matt Ryan, we are not only looking at stats, but we're looking at the film and we're listening to what these NFL players are saying. Okay, this is what we're going. So this is what we mean by GSHM being nothing but the truth and the facts. That's what we're about. We're not about opinions. We're not about, some narrative, or we're trying to make sure that Matt Ryan's here for the next 30 years. And like, if you watch any of our shows, myself and Dunn, we've said, give Matt Ryan 2 more years. That's it. You got to start looking for a quarterback. You have to start looking for a quarterback. So this has never been about whether or not Matt Ryan is going, like, I want Matt Ryan to be here. We want to do things the right way, and to bring and to draft the quarterback at number 4 and then have 2 guys sitting on the bench making over $15-20 million. I just don't think that's responsible.
And let me tell you what else don't make sense. We are a mess right now. Okay. We are a mess right now. Defense is trash. We don't know Arthur Smith. We know what he did in Tennessee, but can he duplicate that here in Atlanta? That's another question. Matt Ryan came to this team, in the worst way. We was in a bad shape, after Vic did his little fiasco stuff. And he came in, he balled out. But guess what? We never put the right weapons around him to be successful. You can say what you want to say about the receivers, but we never paid attention to the offensive line and the defense. And the coaching staff, and the coaching staff has been atrocious. Why would you bring in another quarterback into the same mess? My opinion, let's build this defense up first. Let's build the defense up. Let's have a top 5 defense. And once we do that in the next few years, you go ahead and get you Matt Ryan's replacement. Because guess what? The young kid's gonna come into a good situation. He's gonna have a top 5 defense. So if he mess up, he throw a pick here and there, guess what?
You got a good defense. To build them out.
Look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson got a top 5 defense. He mess up all the time. But guess what? His defense is gonna back him up. You ain't finna score that many points on the Ravens defense. You're not.
Man threw a wild pick in the Tennessee playoff game. Like I was looking at him like, what are you doing? But but that defense held strong and they held them to 10 points that game? 13 points that game? Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's what I've been trying to tell for these Falcons fans. Let's build a defense. Let's build a defense up. Let's get a consistent top 10 defense. So that way, when it's time for us to draft the quarterback, he'll go through his growing pains, but the growing pains won't be so bad.
Right.
That's all I've been trying to tell people. All right.
All right. One more question, guys. I hear what you guys are saying. Build up the defense and stuff. I'm not even gonna argue out points. You already know my perspective on stuff. Realistically, though, do you see at number 4 them getting that quarterback? Though I know how you guys feel. You make a lot of solid points with building up the defense, top 5 defense, a couple years, get themselves a new quarterback. But do you think Arthur Smith pulls the trigger on the quarterback? What is y'all gut feeling about it? I know what you guys think they should do. But do you think
let me just say this. Let me say this.
So
I got you, though. I got
you. It's gonna be real fast. It's never been about who the Falcons should pick. It's all about we've stated this over and over again. It's about financially. Financially, does it make sense? I don't care if they take a quarterback. Financially, when you look at the numbers, this is what the numbers are saying. The number says if you release or trade Matt Ryan at this point, you're going to be $26 million post June. All right, that's just Matt Ryan. Not just. Well, I'm not even factoring in, Ricardo Allen, Bailey, those guys. Like that's still guys you have on the roster that have potential to be cut, and you have Julio Jones. Like let's just say if you want to trade Julio Jones, that's another $15-20 million right there. So essentially, you got over $50 million in dead cap money that you have against you. And then you draft a quarterback that you have to pay at the very least $15 million.
And you sitting him on the bench.
And you're sitting him on the bench. So is that conducive to a build a team and make a team? Because this man has spent over $1 billion for that stadium. Do you think he wants to sit here for 3 years and lose money, not make money, and watch a young quarterback just waste it away, and he's paying this guy $20 million just to look at Matt Ryan on the bench? I just don't think so.
And another thing too, there are other, believe it or not, you guys, there are other quarterbacks coming out in 2022, 2023, 2024, and beyond. This ain't the last draft that we're going to have quarterbacks coming out. There are guys that's playing in college right now. There's guys that are playing in high school right now. There's guys playing, in the backyard right now, middle school football. There's always going to be quarterbacks coming out.
Brock Vandegrift.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are we ending the broadcast, or is there time for one more question? I just want to ask if it's playoff or bust for the Falcons next season. I think they need to make.
Here's my thing: don't get your expectations too high, man.
They should make the playoff.
No. Don't get your expectations too high. Here's the thing: I would love for us to go to the playoffs, but if we see improvement, if we see progression in this team, if I see this defense being above in the top 15 in every category, and I see our offense in the top 10, then we pretty much miss out on the playoffs by a little bit, then hey, I'll be happy. I'll be all right. I'll be mad that we missed the playoffs, but hey, we're moving into the right direction. And that's all that matters.
An 8-8 season of us missing the postseason, but yet I saw my team overall improve, I would take that all day.
Yeah, easy. I don't think, especially with a first year head coach, I'd never put that type of pressure playoff or bust on him. Like he's a first year coach that's irresponsible for not only a fan standpoint, but a coaching ownership standpoint to kind of put that kind of pressure on a head coach that's just here to really, like the first 2 years of his career is to establish his scheme and establish his philosophy. So after that 3rd year, that's when you're looking at playoff or bust.
Yeah. And to back off what you just said, you are absolutely right. And I want Falcon fans to heed this message, what we are saying, especially what I'm about to say, because he is absolutely right. Please don't get your hopes up for the postseason. Just enjoy the ride, because this whole team is literally going to go through a complete change. Literally, the offense, the defense, and possibly special teams is going to be basically brand new to everybody. So this ain't like nothing that just comes in and is going to be familiar to anyone. Everybody is learning something new.
Everybody gonna go through the growing pains, but guess what? If you see progression in this team, you see progression in these individual players like Isaiah Oliver, Marlon Davidson, Kaminsky, and Jalen Hawkins, and all these guys. Like you'll see that okay, we're moving into the right direction. Sometimes you gotta play chess. You gotta play. It's all about chess, not checkers. But appreciate you coming on, man. Matt, Mike, and the Travis, y'all as well, man. One more
No
time.
problem.
Y'all go ahead and plug y'all stuff.
If y'all want to follow me on Twitter, my at name is at wordplay_kid26.
All right.
Well, it's your boy Mad Mike. Y'all already know what to do. If you're new to my channel and new to my platform, Atlanta Falcons Nation, as well as Mad Mike Sports, 5K, man, and I owe it all to the fans. I owe it all to the people. We're here to give you nothing but the facts and the truth. So when it all comes down to it, I want everybody to succeed. Don't care who you are, man, because this world is already, at a standstill, and we just want nothing but positive vibes and give the people and the fans everything that they want, man. So, man, hit me up, man. I'm already at 5K. I'm trying to get to 2,000. Well, 2,000. I'm trying to get to 10,000. That's my next goal. My next goal is continue to not only provide, a great platform for, Atlanta Falcons fans on Mad Mike Sports and Atlanta Falcons Nation, but to really help, the younger generation of journalists, to kind of find their niche and give them an opportunity to have that exposure.
Guys, follow me, Just Good Network. Go follow the Gwinnett Sports Network. We cover a lot of high school stuff. We're in the community. COVID happened a little bit, so it's a little bit tough, but Just Good Network everywhere. Hit me up. Hit Sean Fowler up, another pretty good broadcaster. And, yeah, appreciate being on the show tonight.
Thank you. Also, you guys, everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us tonight. I know I did back-to-back shows. Guys, do a hat trick. Want y'all go look at AFN tonight. Follow them on YouTube. AF, you just type in Atlanta Falcons Nation. They're on the road to 1K. Also, I want to shout out Georgia Sports Hospitality and Media, GSHM. The day after the Super Bowl, which is this Monday coming up, we will every single day after that cover all scores and news for every single team in the state of Georgia. All right. So that will broadcast on our YouTube channel, not FILA Sports, but Georgia Sports Hospitality and Media. That's once again, Georgia Sports Hospitality and Media. Type that into YouTube. Go subscribe to the channel. All right, we got content already up there. The shows that's on here, it also broadcasts on GSHM. So also go follow GSHM fellow writers and content creators like Cassidy, my man. She covered great Braves content. Go follow Julian Cynical Peach. Go follow go subscribe to their channels. I'm sorry. Go subscribe to their channels. Go subscribe to Red Reacts ATL. It is other. If I'm leaving out anybody else, the Lumberjacket. Go subscribe to him as well. He put out great Georgia Tech content. Ain't that much Georgia Tech content out there, but he's the one. He's trying to blow it up. So y'all help him blow it up. So appreciate y'all. But hey, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler.
Hello.
It's your hometown sports podcast.
Sports podcast.
Right?
I just wanted to say that. I had to say that, Wizard, bro.
Oh, man.
So yeah, but everybody appreciate y'all joining us tonight. This is your boy The Don with another episode of The Don's Favor. Y'all have a great evening. Y'all stay safe, stay warm. I'm out. I'll be back tomorrow. I will be bringing on Tori from The Athletic. We're going to be talking about the new identity and the new culture for the Falcons. So join me tomorrow at 6:30 tomorrow. See y'all then.
Yes,
have a great evening.
Yeah, man. I gotta.
What you say, Bad Mike? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to do another show.
You already plugged that for you already.
Yeah, I'm about to go. I'm gonna hit y'all up, man. Got to get ready for it right now.
All right. All right. On that note, once again, not playing. See y'all later. Bye.